Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to BattleTech Heavy Metal. I think we're gonna just go ahead and let our pirate rep drop. Here's the thing. The way the scoring works, first of all, every time we have the opportunity to earn C-bills and we don't take it, we're just leaving points on the table. Every time we have an opportunity to do a contract and we don't take it, we're just leaving points on the table. In addition, we do actually get points for having our negative reputations greater. We're looking for just like magnitude of reputation. It doesn't matter what direction the sign is in. So, as much as it pains me, as much as it might mean that we're going to eventually lose access to the black market, I think I'm being silly. I think we should just go ahead and work against the pirates. We're not really going to have the option of keeping our reputation decent with them forever anyway, because everybody is arrayed against them. Anyway, so, the Free Worlds League has a mission here. We are engaged in delicate negotiations with a private manufacturer from pirate space, but we've reached an impasse. Our representative has requested a demonstration. Something dramatic, she said. So, we turn to you. Your team will provide on-site assistance to target an abandoned pirate military base near the trade conference. We'll have a warship standing by to light it up dramatically. So, this is a mission where we're going to have to go place some targeting beacons and then get out of the way. It's going to be a little bit time sensitive, and that means that we might not want to use the same mechs that we've been using on everything else. I think we can probably take this down to... Here's the thing. Part of me is like, I'm a little worried about going down to one priority salvage, because if we do, I know we're going to end up against a Warhammer or something. But the fact is, as far as I can tell, we only run up against mechs that we would like to take home that are definitely higher skull level than the rating of the mission, if we take a small amount of priority salvage. I'll just go ahead and guarantee it right now. If I took 3 priority salvage, this whole mission would be against locusts. So, whatever, I'm not going to worry about it. Whatever shows up will show up. We're taking 1 point. So, speed is of the essence. We can probably go ahead and bring the Warhammer. But I think this might be a mission to leave the crab at home. And we could bring in something like the Phoenix Hawk. Phoenix Hawk is probably... Yeah, I think I like bringing this thing a lot better than I like bringing the Jenner, and it's only a little tiny bit slower. So how do we want to do this? I think actually Steam Fitter in the Phoenix Hawk makes a lot of sense. And then, is it trampoline in the catapult? Do we want to just run this the way we've been doing it? Polar Biome's going to make the Warhammer pretty effective for everybody, even for people who don't have the coolant vent. But I think what we really want most here is people who have enough piloting for all of the extra move speed, right? So maybe it's like Grizzly in the catapult? Or maybe even Grizzly in one of these other mechs, and we... No, yeah, I'm going to run it like this. We'll run it like this. I think this is alright. Sometimes on these target acquisition missions, you really have to move fast. The Phoenix Hawk should be more than capable of that kind of speed. We'll just have to be a little bit careful with it, because it is kind of fragile, and obviously one of the big downsides of moving fast is that you can find yourselves find yourself completely surrounded by enemies. And the Phoenix Hawk is not tough enough to be taking shots in, like, the rear armor or anything. So, we shall see. I think I like it a lot better as a fast mech than the Jenner, like to the point where we might even consider just putting the Jenner into storage, because you lose a single point of movement, effectively, a single jump jet capacity, but the armor is doubled. The structure is almost doubled, I think. Like, it's a huge difference in toughness. And it still does okay damage. It does pretty good damage on turns where it jumps.
Command interface initiated.
Alright, the client wants to put on a show. We're here to mark the target so that can happen. 3 points make a triangle around the target base. Set up beacons at those points and we can go home. Base is supposed to be abandoned and empty, but obviously that's nonsense. Timing's important. This is a show of force, and if we miss our window, the right people won't be watching. It's not enough to defeat the enemy. You must embarrass them. So we have 8 rounds to get this stuff in place.
Moving to position.
Hold on,
How might
let
I
me
help?
move the Phoenix Hawk first so that we're sure that it has full movement distance,
Have no
because
doubt it
we
will
do
be
not
out.
want to get it stuck behind anything else.
On my way.
Did you really... I managed to do exactly that. I managed to get it completely inside of the other units.
Okay, let's go.
Alright, where are we getting a reading? It's a vehicle of an unknown size. I think we'll have him go this way.
Sensors have something.
The Warhammer can go for the middle. A striker. We getting reading size readings on this? 25, 60. Okay, so far it doesn't look too bad, really. I will say the catapult is not exactly the mech we want running forward like that, so we should
Yes,
probably
Commander.
try to route this a little bit differently. Striker's got 93 armor on its front. Wonder if I go for this big jump, odds are not good that we would kill it.
Lifting off.
But we can at least weaken it a little bit. I don't know, who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky and everything will go center. No, okay. Wow, the thing... Oh. They have some kind of target baffle.
What? No.
There's electronic warfare occurring here. Well, let's get the Warhammer up here and see what we can see.
Engaging jump jets.
Attention, all pirate forces. Focus fire on the mechs placing the beacons. Yeah, that's dialogue I didn't need. It turns out the enemies think that they should shoot us.
I'm here.
Alright, do we have another sensor lock? We do not.
What? No.
So I guess we'll just do a sprint. Again, not actually the optimal mech for this, but...
Waiting for orders. Got it.
Alright, I'm a little worried about them having 2 things that are active on one. So yeah, they got a... They're deploying vehicles and tanks from their motor pool. It appears to be subterranean and hardened. We can't take it out, and they will keep coming until the artillery lands. Okay. So they got a whole... Yeah, they got a bunker over here that they're just going to keep pouring tanks out of. That could be a problem. Maybe. Let's try to make sure that we're doing this right. Do you have bulwark? You don't. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily wrong to jump into cover here. Just
Going skyward.
it's not quite as valuable as it could be. Alright, do I want to try... I'm gonna try hitting the center or the side armor on this thing. Let's see if we can drive enough bullets
Yes,
home.
Commander. Yes. Go, go, go.
I'm pretty sure I did hit one time on the opposite side's armor there. It's weird. That was not always a possibility. Alright, since we've gone ahead and dropped the beacon here already, I'm going to have the Warhammer jump right up on top of them. See if we can't disrupt this thing with a little bit of actual visual confirmation.
Engaging jump jets.
Alright, where is the problem? The pack rat support vehicle, I think, is our issue. Yep. Has an ECM suite. Okay, well, let's get rid of it then. It doesn't look like any of the rest of this stuff is too terrifying. Manticore's okay. The LRM carrier is carrying an awful lot of LRMs. Maybe I would be better off just removing that thing. Well, you know what? If I kill the pack rat, somebody else can kill the LRM carrier, because they're not very tough. Are you very tough? You are not. I definitely don't need to fire all these weapons. Actually, small lasers have really good heat to damage ratios. We'll just fire this stuff.
Engaging target. Enemy unit destroyed.
Okay, that successfully made things a little bit awkward. If they'd been smarter about its position, managed to keep it behind something,
Hey,
it could have been an actual issue. Really, I can't make it into the cover while still being able to shoot? That's frustrating. Okay, hold on. Maybe we lead with the hoplite instead.
time to fly.
Whoa, okay, that animation didn't quite play out the way I was expecting. You know, it's an evasive maneuver. It's supposed to trick people.
Firing everything I've got.
Alright, the good news is those missile carriers are not super tough. Probably, to some degree, intended to mimic the fact that they are essentially a tube packed with explosives. Not the toughest thing in the world. You know what, I'm just going to go for it. This is 7 points of evasion.
Oh boy, here we go.
If I manage to get myself blown up in a single turn through 7 points of evasion, I will be very cross.
They're shooting at me.
Alright, Observer Actual, this is fire control, target locked. Feels like we should move, then. Danger close. Shot over, splash in 30. Yeah, so the thing is in the air. We have limited time to get out of there. At least half our time has expired. Darius is telling me to finish the objective that we already finished. Get visual confirmation of artillery effect. Okay, don't move, don't leave yet. But maybe we should get over there in that general direction on account of the infinite enemy vehicles and everything. I probably do still want to move.
Of course.
And I'm probably not going to get to fire everything this turn. You know, I'm not too worried about that. Let's focus over here. Just barely, actually. I can just barely launch everything.
Reporting one less vehicle.
Alright, we definitely need some cooldown time now, though. Remember, mechs deal double damage to vehicles with melee attacks.
What? No.
So moving up real close like that has all kinds of downsides. It's really not what I would consider a pro move.
Affirmative.
Let's just shoot this guy. I know the odds aren't super great. We can maybe fix him a little bit. So let's see. His left side is most vulnerable to other people.
Copy that. Firing out one way.
Alright, most of it landed
Waiting on you,
front.
Commander.
Not a huge surprise, I suppose.
Smoked them.
And then I suppose we're not really in any huge hurry to run the Warhammer away, because we gotta wait for the catapult to get to the exit either way. May as well just run over here and stomp on this dude.
Engaging physical attack.
Yeah, man, just imagine the physics involved there. How would you even build a vehicle in such a way that it could withstand that? What would be the plan?
Destroyed. Incoming artillery fire.
It does sound like a big deal. We should probably get away from the incoming artillery fire.
Throttle down. Moving out.
Yeah, geez. Even in this very cold climate, this Phoenix Hawk runs so hot. We should really try to build our mechs a little colder. Now, our HUD is indicating that only the red area is actually going to get blown up,
Full throttle.
but it feels... I'm still nervous about how close we are. Okay, visual confirmation. Can confirm, target was wounded. I might describe that as a mortal wound. Oh, more guys. And I did just leave the backside of this mech completely open to them. I suppose I should have remembered.
You have orders?
You know, it didn't actually spawn any enemies for like 2 turns, and that's my attention span was gone. How am I supposed to remember a thing that long? I mean, you could just come back and help. There's no reason not to. Because again, we are entirely bound here by the movement speed of the catapult.
Warning. Enemy in rear arc.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about it.
Damage minimal.
I'm here.
Even in our rear armor, it would take a lot for an
What can I
enemy
do for
to be able to actually, for an enemy vehicle to actually be able to
I'm
pierce
ready,
anything.
Commander. Moving out. Take this.
As ever, no kill like overkill.
What now?
Now is sprint. Full sprint.
For what it's worth.
Oh, can't see him from there, I guess.
Engaging jump jets.
Alright, that will have to do.
Engaging target.
Oh, I forgot I left them both. That was definitely overkill. Did not need to fire both the snubs.
Destroyed.
Okay, do we get away this turn?
Reporting.
No, definitely not.
Certainly. Hey.
Catapult is really slow. Actually, I'm starting to worry that we might not get it next turn
Okay.
either.
Full throttle.
Good to go. Pedal to the metal.
I believe the catapult is actually as fast as the Warhammer and the others. The problem we're having here is
Yes, Commander.
actually one of
Here.
the pilot, I think, not having the bonus sprint speed.
Okay.
Okay, we're good. We're good, everything's fine. Whereas these two definitely have that sprint speed bonus. Can you really not make it into the zone? Uh-oh. That could be bad. I'm not actually sure what
Waiting
will
on you,
happen.
Commander.
But yeah, we can't... In every location, I'm one dot outside of the... Oh, inbound kill team. Well, what if I do... Hold on. Sorry. Race.
Hunkering down.
Okay.
I hear ya.
That doesn't really feel like much of a difference. I'm gonna not get a pay bonus here because of the fact that I was 6 inches away from that line. Ah well. It's not a big deal, but it is still annoying, and it's points. You know, it's still annoying at its points. All right. Well, looks like there's only one actually interesting piece of loot here, so we'll take it. Really, really glad I didn't go for more priority stuff there. That said, you know what? I think we might actually only have one LRM-20 of any description. I just really haven't been prioritizing them, and you don't run into them all that often. You run into them more often in the late game, when you're going up against like 4 and 5 skull mechs that actually have room for a component of that size. Alright, and since we're committing here, we may as well go for a hot landing. Satellite surveillance pictures show a heavy lance inserted into the planet's surface by a pirate dropship. Apparently we believe they're securing their LZ. Go down there and do the thing. You know, that thing you do. Got it. I am all over it. We probably can go ahead and swap back to the big crab here. And we'll just go ahead and run it like this. Actually, let's swap trampoline in for... for you? Maybe not for you, but for somebody. I'm just thinking, like, all the people who don't yet have 9 tactics should probably be in here, right? Let's maybe make this Grizzlies thing trampoline... No, this is fine. If we put trampoline in the crab, it gets to move on too, I guess? Yeah, that's... I don't know, man. This doesn't matter. Trampoline in the crab gives it a slightly better aim shot. Because he has .1. He has the called shot bonus, so I think Steamfitter doesn't? I don't know. He might. It may very well be the case that it didn't matter at all. who got in what robot there. Especially since this mission's like 2 skulls. And it's not entirely impossible that the crab could finish it on its own. I have started thinking about, by the way, a good way to, an entertaining way to come up with some strictures to use for missions to prevent them from all coming out the same.
Command interface initiated.
It's tough for me to not take the most optimal, most effective path on every mission, but
After the mission, let's make snowmen.
I've had some thoughts. We might be able to come up with something cool to do here. So where are we? All the way over. Jesus. Okay, the camera is not being cooperative at all here. Alright, so yeah, I guess we have to go up this path.
Moving to position.
I'm getting a little annoyed with all of these missions, starting with us having to run up a narrow road. I don't know whose idea this was.
How might I help? Consider it done.
Oh, I didn't have sprint on there. Okay, can we please just fast forward to the part where we're all at the top of the thing?
Good to go.
I mean, for me, no. For you guys, yes, I totally could. I'm not going to. If I'm going to suffer, you're going to suffer too.
What can I do for you?
But I suppose I could.
Going turbo. Give them everything you got.
Alright, Steamfitter, calm down. I appreciate that you are, I appreciate your ardency, but it's just...
Yes, Commander.
Let's worry about giving them all that we've got once we can actually see an enemy somewhere. How about that?
All right.
Okay, what have we here? It's an Enforcer with an AC-10 and a large laser. It's actually not a bad mech. Or at least it wasn't, before we got a hold of it.
Die.
Okay, not actually good shooting. It did manage to hit it in the head pretty hard, though.
What's the plan?
That was some pretty good blind luck there.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I guess let's see if we can just wrap it up. Yep. One lucky headshot deserves another.
You're dead.
You have orders?
No, I'm
Reporting.
trying to click on the ground. I just want you to run forward.
I hear you. Okay, everybody. Let's hit him where it hurts.
So where are the other ones? Why was he out by himself so far? Yeah, wow, he's really far away from the rest of his team.
Awaiting orders.
Wonder why.
If you say so. Go to sunset race.
This is a commando with a billion evasion. Let's shoot at it with a single weapon to strip some evasion.
Yes, Commander.
Waiting for orders.
I can't get a direct line of sight on this thing from anywhere.
Going turbo.
What's the plan?
Actually, similar problem.
Be there in a jiff.
Oh yeah, I guess the terrain is a little bit... It's hard to read exactly what the topography is from this angle, but yeah, that's actually a terrible shot. With this, we'll go ahead and go for it. Maybe we can get enough stability damage to make a difference here. Even with him being entrenched.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Because he is a small mech, we still can do a pretty significant portion of his overall bar.
Show him what you got.
Oh well, it's hard to imagine that was the right move.
I've got eyes on hostile reinforcements. They're heading your way.
Something tells me we'll be okay. Unfortunately, they're firing generic enough weapon loadouts at us that it's very hard to tell what they might be. It's possible that there's too damn many of them, It's an awful lot of turns here.
How might I help?
Alright, can you make it over there? Not quite, it looks like. Well, I can get vision of him at least. Maybe I jump down and just blow up the commando? Other people can handle that guy, I think.
I may regret this. I'll try. Enemy down.
Probably pretty massive overkill.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Alright, just go and get me vision of that dude.
You betcha.
Does it make more sense to just go to the center? Let's try to get lucky. So these guys coming in with the damaged armor don't have full head health, which means that any AC5 shot will kill them. Right? No, actually, never mind. He's at 49. Well, okay, so we still have to get pretty lucky then.
Got it.
Wow, I think actually I hit him with 3 weapons there. I think that was an AC5 and both lasers.
You have orders?
That was, in fact, pretty lucky. Okay, you don't even have sensor range on anybody. And the crab is never going to get to participate in any of
What can I do
this.
for you? Pedal to the metal.
Boy, this sure is a lot of crummy, non-dangerous enemies. Ah well, that's just going to be the way of things for us for a while. Can I make it into the trees? Don't have vision of everybody if I do that, but it might be prudent.
Engaging. Jump jet.
And then, unfortunately, without a coolant vent opportunity, we are just going to have to not fire everything here. So the assassin is not super dangerous. I think this trebuchet is maybe the most worrying thing they have. Blackjack has some damage as well, but I think it's the trebuchet. So what can we afford to fire? It looks like we're probably going to have to turn off a snub. Oh, no, we could fire both of those if we just don't fire anything else. That seems like the right way to go. Let's just try to go in through here.
Engaging. But that hurt.
Alright, that's a pretty good start.
How might I help?
Let's go... Can we get... Yes, we can. Okay, there we go.
Affirmative.
Do I want to spend? Like, is it worth it? It's probably worth it to just go ahead and core him out. Trying to maintain enough resolve here for everybody else to get the buff, but guy has enough structure.
Yes, Commander.
Probably worth putting some resources into him proper. There we go. Can't believe we left him at 1.
Target neutralized.
That was, I think, by a pretty large margin, their most dangerous unit.
Going turbo.
I really don't know if we're going to get close enough to use the autocannons on this thing. The assassin has a weirdly human run. Not like in the sense that it actually looks like a person running, because it totally doesn't. But more in the sense that it looks more like it wants you to think it's a human running, if that makes sense. It looks like some stuff you'd see in a movie about a robot that was trying to be human. And that's very unsettling to me. You know, sometimes you look up at these mechs and you think, we could have made them run like anything, but we made them run like us. I sort of want to just jump in. I was really hoping we could get a shot to the back armor, but it looks like we do not have any such luck. I DFA for 180, so yeah, I would crumple the legs of this mech up real bad by doing that. Okay, let's not jump on it. We'll just jump next to it and maybe Maybe we punch it next turn. Alright, can I even... I probably can't even fire... No, I can fire one of the PPCs if I turn off some of the other stuff. Yeah, alright, this'll have to do. And again, we'll just try to go in through the side torso here. God, the snub PPCs are really powerful.
That looked like a critical hit.
What's the plan?
Also, Grizzly's accent, very powerful. Maybe this is not the appropriate way to utilize the catapult. Just having it dive forward into combat.
That's a kill.
Still a lot of damage numbers coming off of that. Feels like maybe we didn't actually fire that many shots. So 3 small lasers. I don't think either one of these things is super damaging, but I guess he's slightly more of a problem.
This should be good.
Well, not anymore, he's not.
I hear ya.
Alright, maybe we are finally going to get to shoot a shot with the crab.
Got it.
Alright, we're going to try to just core this dude out with the UAC. Did we actually need anything else? I think the UAC might have killed him.
Go time.
Boy, when you watch that animation, you can't help but think, this guy really should not be able to wrench himself back to his feet. That did not look like it would work.
Awaiting orders. Waiting on you, Commander.
Oh, right. It takes a very special pilot to be able to actually fire this thing twice in a row.
And stay down.
God, the UAC-20 really just leaves every other weapon in the dust by such a large margin. Don't get me wrong, I love our snub PPC and everything, but Jesus. You know, the thing about an AC-20, the big downside of it is that it's just one AC-20. Okay, what do we actually need here? Everything, I believe. Ooh, an AC-10 with plus damage on it. So, it's a big deal. 60 damage, the normal AC-10 damage, is 1 point short of a single headshot. Anytime you have an opportunity to pick up a weapon that does more than 60 damage in a single round, you should really think about it. And I think we're going to leave all these mech parts behind for this. Just think about it, if we manage to wrench this thing onto that Marauder somehow, a weapon that can get a single shot headshot, very, very valuable. And you benefit a lot from having it be an AC-10 instead of an AC-20 because of the weight difference and everything. Although actually, I think they're not that different. I think there's a big gap between the 5 and the 10, and less between the 10 and the 20. Alright, so let's, I guess we're done here with this planet. Where do we want to go next? We have a travel contract to another 2.5-star world. Granted, former Star League presence plus black market is potentially interesting. But it is a world that we've already been to before. And the missions there won't be terribly exciting. There's a 3-skull flashpoint over here. A 2-skull flashpoint over there. But at least that's at a place with a black market, which is kind of cool. And this 4-skull flashpoint at a 3.5-skull world, which is also definitely compelling. It's a world we've been to, but there's worlds that we haven't been to on the way over there. Yeah, we might want to take that on. The flashpoint itself is a little bit on the easy side, but who knows if we're going to be coming back to this corner of the galaxy, and I believe each flashpoint is actually world-specific. And then we have some decisions to make about some mechs, like do I want to try to jam that AC-10 onto the onto the Marauder while we're in flight, or do I want to just let some of this other stuff finish? That's actually... Also, poor Uncrackable. He's really out. He should be dead. I guess we can't really complain. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to do. Alright, I know the last episode was a little bit on the short side, but this episode's also going to be a little bit on the short side. I'm going to have to consider our overall plan. This is not just about the next world, but kind of like about what we're going to be doing for the next 100 or maybe even more so days. A decision about direction is momentous. So, come back next time tomorrow for some of that, and maybe some new rules on exactly how we blow robots up. And we'll see you then.